Hey, is this Randy?
It's Ryan.
Ryan. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I knew that. I actually was telling Lindsay. I was like, "Yeah, his name's Ryan. You met him." Uh, did you know that your name comes from Rudolph Taylor?
What?
Yeah, Rudolph.
Like on the phone?
Yeah,
Rudolph Taylor. That's
yeah.
truly strange.
I don't know.
That's not
Maybe
like
it's
my dead name or anything. And other than beginning with the same letter, that's like the whole. That's all I have in common with that. It must have been Rudolph's phone number before it
yeah.
was mine.
I'm sure he's a great guy.
Or I'm utterly schizophrenic and I'm really Rudolph Taylor. There's always that possibility too.
That's
Now I'm
fine.
listening.
I'll check into it. I'll Google Rudolph Taylor later. Speaking
Yeah,
of
I mean,
names, what are your
okay, go ahead.
names?
Corey Taylor of Slipknot. James Taylor. Rudolph Taylor.
Whoa,
What did they?
you're my
What
long
did
lost sibling.
Yeah. My name is Hart. I'm the drummer, professional drummer for Yawni.
Yay. And how about the other one? What's your name?
The other one, my name is Mary. The other one, that's what my mom used to call me.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just kidding.
Was your mom related to Rudolph Taylor?
No, not that I'm aware of.
Or maybe your mom was Rudolph Taylor.
Could be. Could be.
All right. So
She was.
Go ahead.
Oh, she was related to. She's a great granddaughter of Les Paul.
Really?
Yeah.
Did she get any of that sweet guitar money?
Not the money, but she did. She does play guitar, and actually, I owe my life to a guitar because my mom was playing guitar, and that's how she met my dad.
Mary was wicked poor, and I was upper middle class for a little bit, for a while.
Oh, wow. And is that related to any past guitar moguls?
Um,
Mary's grandma died after she ordered a guitar, so
oh yeah, my grandma. So my grandma was really poor too, and she worked really hard cutting off chicken heads, which my mom also did for work
Wow.
sometimes. Although eventually she became a full-time musician, my mom did.
my
But
hippie's got that song Chicken Hunting.
yeah, they have a long lineage of people who cut off chicken heads professionally. And anyways, so then
So do you when
oh
you cut off chicken heads, it's amateur?
yeah, pretty much. Yep.
What's your background, Hart?
Going how far back? I'm kind of
All right,
older.
let's
Just word of caution, the heart will go. So
Okay,
if you let her, she will go.
That's excellent. Let me throw this at you. By the way, I'm recording this because I type out
Yeah.
the transcripts later. It'll be
Yeah.
in the edition that comes out on the 1st of next month, and then later.
Oh,
But but later than that, we also have a YouTube channel, and I'll record the actual dialogue as well, and put it up there.
Oh, that's awesome! I didn't realize you had a YouTube channel.
Yes, we do. So that being said, I guess Hart. Oh yeah, I like people to ramble. I like people to talk about whatever they want to. I like it to be casual and
Oh,
spontaneous.
wait! I gotta tell you the story about my grandma's guitar, though.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so my grandma was saving up she was working at a chicken factory, and then she was saving up stamps in the Sears Roebuck catalog. And if you save up enough stamps and send in a little bit of money, you could get a Sears Roebuck guitar in the mail. So she did that, and it took her a long time. And they said she had to stand in like a foot of water and use an electric blade to cut the chicken heads off, and it was like really dangerous and insane. And then so she put in the order, and it took a long time for the guitar to get there. And before the guitar got there, she died.
Oh my goodness, that's horrible.
Yeah, for real. She had a massive brain aneurysm when she was like 35 and she
Oh,
died.
that's
Yep,
terrifying.
I know. And then the guitar came, and then my mom got it. And that's how she started playing guitar.
It's a cursed guitar.
Well, or blessed. I mean, it depends how you look at it, I guess.
It certainly well, it has a lot of positive energy going into it from all her efforts to
Yeah,
get it.
and then right, and I think it was the biggest blessing to my mom because, from what I've been told a little bit, I think my grandma was like physically abusive to my mom, and then also music was the way that my mother healed from that time, and then that's when she started playing like semi-professionally, like at churches and weddings and funerals, and I think it's what gave her that gift of deep sympathy and understanding of like what music serves to do in people's lives for healing.
Well, that's an incredible story.
Yeah, thank you. It's true.
Very cool. So, what's your background in music, Mary? Like, why did you pick it up? Where did you pick it up?
Yeah, well, so on that same lineage, my mom was a single mom and she played music full time for a living. So she couldn't afford childcare or anything. So I was at church like 7 days a week, sleeping in pews, like listening to, big organs and cathedrals and attending funerals all the time and everything. And I think that has probably had a pretty major impact on our work as musicians in Yawni.
Yeah, and how about you, Hart? Where does your musical inspiration come from? Why did you decide to start playing music?
I wanted Mary's job to start. Like I had my first band with playing shows and stuff. I did like guitar and vocals and like found the people to play with and booked the shows and like did all the things that she's doing and I really couldn't keep it up. That's a huge, 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 all-consuming job, and it almost destroyed me. I was wrecked after a year of that, and then after that, after the my first band doing that, then I just been on drums or keys for all the other bands I've been in because I just gotta like uh not do I gotta not be the I gotta not have her job. It's too big.
So, what about you? Okay, as pertinent to your both your backgrounds, what part of the country are you each from originally?
I grew up in Rhode Island, which is home to. I will stand on this that I believe that Providence, Rhode Island, is the birthplace of noise music, and I grew up listening to a lot of noise music. And Lindsay, our Hart, grew up in Buffalo.
Oh, okay. So, how did you end up crossing one another's paths?
I played a show in a basement here in Asheville when I first moved to Asheville, and I had a different drummer. And Lindsay saw me at that show and thought that she could do a better job. And then a few years later, I got sober because I had a really strong, long struggle with addiction. And I started going to AA meetings. And Lindsay also went to AA meetings. And in the middle of an AA meeting, I raised my hand and I said, I contribute the start of my sober journey to psychedelic drugs. I said, Bill Wilson did psychedelic drugs, and so did I, damn it. And although I don't do any drugs anymore and haven't since my sober date, but Lindsay recognized that, caught her eye and ear, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I've seen her play shows before." And then I didn't have a car at the time, and Lindsay was like, "Do you want to ride?" And I said, "Yeah." And so Lindsay drove me home from the meeting, and then she was like, "Do you need a drummer?" And I said, "Hell yeah." So that's how, yeah, we were in a different band called Sacred Daisy. That's how we started playing music together. But Yanni started 2 years ago. We renamed the band.
And about what do you know about what year it was when you initially met one another?
That was 2016.
I see. So you're both from the Northeast, but you met in Nashville, North Carolina. It's interesting.
Yep.
Just coincidentally, I'm originally from Connecticut, and I spent my teens in Asheville, North Carolina. So That's interesting.
Oh, that's so weird.
Yeah, but
Oh.
so how old were you when you started to perform and write your own music?
The first time I got in front of a microphone in front of a large audience of people, I was 5 years old.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, I was singing in my mom's choir and she let me have a solo. Unfortunately, the first time I was scheduled to go up, I had a panic attack and somebody else had to take my solo. But the next week I got up there and I struggled pretty severely, like with panic attacks and mental health throughout my life. But performing was not easy for me for many, many years, but I've just been doing it so long that I've, overcome that barrier now. But yeah, I was 5 years old and it was like a large church of people.
Hart, how old were you when you started performing music live?
I had a house show in my house when I was like 15.
Okay.
Yeah. But then I didn't get anything else together until I didn't play a bar till I was like 23 after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are either of you like formally schooled for music, or are you self-taught?
I had like guitar in middle school. I had guitar class and we did John Cougar Mellencamp and then everything else is self-taught.
Nice.
Mostly through friends.
Right.
Yeah, I always played instruments my whole life. It was always picking up different instruments with my mom being a music teacher also.
Mm.
And and then I did take formal drum lessons for about 5 years. And then I did take summer classes at Berklee College of Music.
Mm.
And, but then I also taught myself a lot because once you can learn to read music, you don't really need a teacher anymore. And, but guitar is pretty much self-taught for me. But I almost hesitate to say that because it's kind of embarrassing given like how like not technically proficient I am. But like I actually do have a lot of formal training. Like I was in band in high school and all that.
And when you first started Yawni, did you have a like specific vision in mind for what you wanted the band to be?
Well, Yawni is kind of a play off of Yoni, which is a symbol of divine feminine. And so I do feel like the intention with my music has always been kind of to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. I have always had a therapeutic, healing mindset when it came to music, with also like having like a deep roots in punk. And so I think for me, it really has to do with like balancing energy and with I practice Reiki also, and I feel like Hart practices Reiki also, though I don't believe she's officially received Reiki. But I think that's kind of stupid formality. So all that really is just energetic healing, and being a thermostat instead of a thermometer is essentially what is essentially how I function, and how I believe we function as a band.
Yeah, you mentioned that you were influenced by punk. How did punk cross your path?
I first went to my first punk show when I was 12 years old, and because I have a sister who's older than me, and she liked going to punk shows. And my brother is a very extremely good musician he's actually in a band called Orion, and they're assigned to Italians Do It Better Records. And we used to have punk shows in my basement, and so yeah, I started going to punk shows when I was 12 years old, and I was completely addicted immediately, and I still am. And it's kind of ridiculous, 20 years later, I'm just as, giddy. I feel like a little kid when I go to shows, and I'm 33 years old.
Did you also get influenced by punk rock, Hart?
Yeah, I totally loved it. It was great. I loved it. Yeah. My friends in eighth grade, my friend had an older sister, Ramona, into the Ramones, and was like the only like that was like the first like, oh, she's a lesbian. like, like like, oh wow, to like my little 8th grade mind was like, what is that about? What is that? What, your sister likes, she's got really cool eyeliner too? Oh, like, so like we were just like listening to everything her sister was listening to. And yeah.
Wow. So, how long have you been touring? How long have you like in the big sense? Like, for how long have you been bopping around the country doing this?
Mm. Well, I started I think my first official tour was probably 12 years ago, because I've been in a lot of different bands and names. I've changed my artist names a million times. Um, and so, yeah, I've been touring for about 12 years. But what about you, Art?
Yeah, I was only in one other band that toured, and that was in the mid 2000s, and the last time that toured was 2011.
Wow. So I know
Yeah.
doing DIY touring opens up a lot of spaces you wouldn't normally intend to go to necessarily. So,
Yeah.
is there anywhere in the country that really sort of touched you or was impactful for you as a result of you meeting that place while on tour?
Honestly, there's so many. The first that comes to mind was probably like the best show, or my, yeah, probably like my most mystical experience playing a show was in Missoula, Montana, which that's our goal city for this tour,
Nice.
is to get back there. And basically, just being in Montana was very mystical. But then we roll up to this bunkhouse and we're like texting them, and they're like, "We got to roll back the chicken wire to keep in our adopted pit bull dogs." And then we rolled up in our school bus because I was in a 13 person punk band.
Wow.
And then, yeah, and then we get it there, and then we're like hanging out and stuff. And the person at the house was like, "Yeah, we had this homeless lady that really wanted to do a home birth, and so we had a full swimming pool in our living room so that this lady could have her home birth here." And she did, and it went great. And then she was like, "Yeah, and a couple weeks ago she had like a bruise on her face, and she was like, I actually stole this guy's car and smashed it on purpose because he was a rapist." And I was like, it was just like so radical to me. And then I got to play a solo set, and people were just like really engaged. And I just felt like I was transcending, in a really real way. Uh, what about you, Hart?
Like I honestly don't really care about where I'm going. I just want to be going,
Yeah. Sure.
and I want to keep like just go go go. I really want to. My main goals in life is no paperwork and no permanent housing. I don't want to be tied down anywhere. I just want to be on the go,
We're-
if as much as I can anyway.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah.
And do you share those ambitions, Mary?
No, well, my thing is we're very yin and yang band, and I love touring, and if I had it my way, I would spend like half the year touring pretty much. But I also am like deeply a homebody, very extremely introverted, so I do like having a place to call home. But honestly, I just love playing music so much that I would tour forever if that's what it came down to. But it's weird. It's just like I don't know how to explain it. It's such a conflict in my soul, but like I love playing music. And if somebody was like, "Do you want to go on tour for like 3 years straight?" I would probably be like, "Yeah."
I just like, mean, I got, it's been some years for me since I've had to sign a lease or anything. And I really love that feeling because, like, every time I've signed a lease, then even if it's a month to month, I don't like that, like, hanging over my head where it's like, no matter what happens, I'm here all month. And most of the time, I've been here for way over a year, and it's like I'm staying in the same place anyway. But it's the idea, it's that idea of being, bound to some piece of paper just because I signed some. Yeah, I know you could get out of it. I know there's always ways out, but like, I don't know. I don't want my name on any piece of paper that like is like looming over me, trying to tell me what to do every day.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So I just feel really lucky that I haven't had to sign a lease in years. And if I could go the rest of my life never signing anything that like dictates where I live, I'm happy. I've
Hmm.
been real happy living like without my name on anything.
Interesting.
Yeah, I love it.
What? Now you mentioned mysticism and mystical experience, and also some other spiritual ideas. And what, who, or what has influenced you psychologically and philosophically? I also want to hear that from you, Hart, because your idea of complete non-attachment is interesting to me as well.
Well, my dad had two jukeboxes and a huge record collection. I think, and it was great to see him enjoy that. And I did get this like idea, like I know records make my dad happy, and I will make a record, and then I will have properly earned his love for eternity. Blah blah blah. But here's the thing with that other band I was in that toured, and we printed a 7-inch, and I showed to my dad and stuff, but like by the time that happened, he'd already like started like dementia and he could have cared less. And
Hmm.
and and that's okay and stuff. But like but
But where does
what was the
the? I guess
question?
what I'm trying to interrogate here is
Oh,
where
what
what I'm trying to interrogate here is
oh
where does the desire for
being homeless?
complete spontaneity as it come from?
Um, I don't really feel that. I feel way more manipulative than spontaneous. I feel like I let people think I'm spontaneous, but like really, I just don't want anybody suffocating me in any way. And I probably have a little bit of that like anti-authority stuff because, uh, I moved around a lot as, uh, uh,
We don't have to get in therapy if you
and
don't
I'm
want
like, where are we
to.
going? Where are we going?
I would say, for me personally, like I said, we're very yin and yang band, and I think that's our strength because to me, I'm hyper organized, I'm extremely regimented.
Hmm.
You could it's just insane how organized I am and how disciplined I am, and
Yes.
anybody who knows me personally can validate that. And Heart is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And so even when we're playing music, I my practice schedule for us is brutal. We've actually had to reorganize because we actually got severely burned out to the point where it's getting dangerous for our relationship as friends and mental health because I am just we have to get this so perfect. And then we have room for noise and chaos. And I think that that is a way that the universe operates. So, I definitely have been into the Upanishads.
Hmm.
AI Gemini is actually, I wrote that song after reading the Upanishads.
Hmm.
And then also, the Bhagavad Gita, where it's there is creation and destruction. That actually was my senior quote in high school. Destruction is creation. And that's something that I feel deeply to be true. And I feel deeply that there needs to be both order and chaos that is just the truth. And so for us as a band, I think it's demonstrated really well with the fact that some of our songs are very uh, structured in a very classical, predictable way. There's a level of safety in that I deeply appreciate because I've had a lot of unsafe moments in my life where very safe, predictable, like Americana, like listening to Mississippi John Hurt or Tom Petty, something so predictable and within the structure, and it really helped me in moments where I was homeless and I didn't know what was going to happen next, or I was in an abusive relationship where I thought the person was going to murder me, and those songs really helped at that time. So but at the other time I've been on the other end of the spectrum where my life was so organized and so disciplined that I felt like I needed chaos desperately in order to survive. And I think that the truth of life is both of those things inter are, as Thich Nhat Hanh would say, they inter are. There's interbeing in order and chaos. And I hope that our music, demonstrates that and is an expression of that.
Would you say that there's intentionality to achieve that when you're setting out to perform or to write?
Yes, especially in the form of surrender. I will. reveal that part of our band practice ritual is meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And my meditative stance, because of the type I have, which is very type A, I actually lay completely on the floor because it's like I'm surrendering. So that's where like the noise part comes in, is you're surrendering to what's happening, you know?
Yes.
Um, and I'm sure you can appreciate that too. Is like a lot of times, even no matter how hard you try to get things to be structured and stuff, it just isn't, like it just isn't. So you have to surrender to that.
It's maddening. You have to. You don't want to be the reason that something goes wrong. So you do everything you can to try to make it, so that you're not the reason something goes wrong. But then something goes wrong anyway, and then you have to accept it and deal with it and adapt to it. So
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. 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 Thank you for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, gosh, let's get a little more grounded, maybe. What all instruments can you play, Mary, and then Hart?
I just want to say for the record that one of our palate cleansers slash rejuvenating practices is that because I'm the only instrument that is formally trained on with lessons very intensely and rigorously
Mm-hmm.
was the drum set. And so, and Lindsay actually, Hart is actually a better guitar player than I am. So we do just in our private practice time, oftentimes switch instruments, but mainly banjo, guitar, drums. Those are the ones that I can like kind of say I play. What do you like?
I mean, I really I got a synthesizer back that just this year, but I haven't really been playing it too much. I just like put it on a loop and listen to it, and that's great. I love that. But yeah, and I've played synth in other bands before a long time ago, but I'm like way out of practice. But I really love the sound, and
Yeah.
yeah, I could probably wing it on anything. And not like amazing or anything, but I could like do something. I could come up with a punk tune on probably anything. Yeah.
Did either of you play music in school?
I mean, I just
I
did
mean, I
like
know you went
guitar.
to Berkeley formally, but I mean, like, I'm talking like
Yeah,
elementary
I
school
went with
band.
St. Vincent.
Yeah.
No.
I did. Because I was like, if I can do literally anything to play music during my forced incarceration in the high school system, I was like, I will do literally anything to play music. So I was in jazz band, I was in regular band, I played drums, and then they had a guitar class, they had music appreciation, music theory. So I took all those classes and I actually almost failed music appreciation because I insisted on us listening to the entirety of Jimi Hendrix playing the Star Spangled Banner, and I wrote an argument that it was the most patriotic performance of music in American history, and my band teacher like violently disagreed with me and like made me shut it off. But like I almost got into a physical confrontation with her because I didn't want her to shut it off, because it's long. It's like 17 minutes long, and it was like going to take up most of the like a huge chunk of the class. She's like, you have to turn it off, and it's like it's un-American and da da da. And I was like, no, I'm defending freedom of speech.
Oh my goodness. I'm surprised. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised knowing what I know about a lot of teachers, but I think there probably like 1 out of 10 teachers, if that happened, they would have been super into it. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yep.
So that's too bad. Have you formally recorded any albums that you've released?
Well, it's funny. We've been having a lot of discussion here recently because I've been recording, even when I was living in a when I was living in a van, when I was living in a barn, and I mean a real barn, dirt floors, leaky roof, all nine. Wherever I was, I recorded an album outside. I've always been recording, but we tried going into a studio recently, a very professional, well-known, high credibility studio, and we did not have the best experience. It wasn't a bad experience. It just wasn't the best. and we have been releasing those singles, but we actually are about to re-release our album that we recorded at my home that I did all the production for, called Clean Girls Club. And we don't have any physical media right now, so we're going to re-release that on cassette tape.
And what would be the best way to contact you or order that from you?
I would say Bandcamp, yawni.bandcamp.com.
yawni.bandcamp.com.
Yep.
Cool. So when do you think this current tour will wind down, or will it ever?
So we're kind of on a little bit of a break right now, and then we're going to go on a weekend, or we're just playing a lot of shows like regionally, like in North Carolina and Tennessee, until we go across America starting in April.
Nice.
And that'll be going for 1 month.
Very cool. Well, let's think about this for a second. Is there anything you were hoping I would ask you about that I haven't covered?
You guys were pizza toppings or pizza ingredients. What pizza ingredients would you be?
I'd be pineapple.
Lindsay would be pineapple. I'm vegan, so I'd be all the veggies. This is how I order pizza. No cheese, gluten-free crust, quadruple of every veggie you got. I want a salad on top of a gluten-free pizza. No cheese.
I think salad's good on a pizza, actually. I like it. Well, gang.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was a real joy talking to both of you.
Thank you so much. And I've been reading your magazine, and I just want to, shout out. We're so grateful. And my friend Earthbender, who I used to be in a band in with, he actually gave me a copy of your zine a while back. Was like, you should be in this. And then we seen you at that show, and so it worked out. The universe works out perfectly, I believe.
It all works according to when it has to work.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So it'll be out on the 1st of next month. Oh yeah, one more thing. Just would you mind sending me like pictures, photographs of yourself playing, so I can kind of incorporate them?
Yeah, and do you so how do I find the YouTube part of Issues?
It's Issues Magazine YouTube channel.
Okay.
I believe if you look at my at Issues OCI Instagram, there's the name of like the at symbol that you put, the thing that you put at the end of the youtube.com/thing, whatever that's called.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm a huge YouTube person, so that's very helpful.
Excellent. Yeah, we have interviews up there. I've been taking to recording local shows and putting them up there. We have some of the releases of people that I work with in like the CFR Council, which is how we do bookings and stuff. So
nice.
It's a good resource for meeting other people interested in DIY music.
Yeah, I don't consume social media. I just put stuff on there and don't look at it pretty much. But I am hardcore about YouTube. That's like my only vice.
That's not a bad vice.
I live on TikTok.
I do not do TikTok, unfortunately. I just don't. I don't jive with it. I don't jive with it.
That's cool. I mean, that's better for your brain. It's got me. It owns me.
I do watch TikToks that other people post on other social media sites sometimes, but but I don't have TikTok. We just have an Instagram and a Facebook and a YouTube.
Awesome. That's enough.
I think so. Yeah. I should get a MySpace.
Yeah, MySpace. My first record is on MySpace only.
Oh gosh, yeah. I also have recordings I made that only went there, and then I have no access to them now. Where does all that go? It's just on some server somewhere.
I'm about to go see this band, Tongues of Fire. It was nice talking to you. I'll see you next time.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, but thank you so much, Ryan. Is there anything that I can offer you at this time?
No, I'll get you a free copy of the magazine. Like I said, I'll mail it to you if you want. And
Okay.
if you ruminate on it and if you decide you want to get a subscription, that's always helpful. Helps us to print the things and mail them out. But no matter what, I'll still give you a copy. It's no big deal.
Okay, yeah, that's awesome. And yeah, it's that same address that you had that I had given you for the show. Um
Nope,
and
that was not my house. That was Pagan Parlor. I live in a art house across town called Purgatory Place.
oh, okay.
Yep. But I could text you the information.
Oh, I meant like for sending me a copy of the magazine.
Oh, your house. I'm sorry. Okay. I thought you were talking about my house.
Yeah. No, but but do you do shows there also?
Yeah, we do shows here once a month, maybe twice a month, usually on a weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to hit it up sometime in the future, text me about that.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked your set. I was like deeply meditating, and there was a giraffe on the TV, and that's my spirit animal. And I was like really yeah, it was a mystical moment for sure. I loved it.
Thank you. I'm definitely influenced by mysticism and occultism as well, so I appreciate you noticing that.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we have to go, sadly.
Okay. Yeah, but it was such a delight to talk to you, and thank you so much for supporting the culture, and even to think of us, that really is an honor. And I was reading some of your other interviews, and I just thought they were so cool, and I really, really appreciate your time.
And I appreciate your time as well. Thank you,
Thank
Mary.
you. All right. Talk to you later, Ryan Rudolph.
That's right, Rudolph Taylor. You have a good night.
All right. Good night. Bye.